Gotta get back in time. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be opening up our time capsule to tell you what happened this week in history, November 18th to the 24th. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're scouring our memory banks and the history books to find 5 interesting stories that'll make you ask, when did I get so old? Be sure to keep an eye on our community tab to vote for your favorite memories on upcoming episodes. For this episode, like 280,000 of you guys voted, so thanks, keep them coming. 25 years ago, Robin Williams introduces the world to Mrs. Doubtfire, November 24th, 1993. Allow us to set the stage. It was November 1993. Pierce Brosnan was 2 years away from becoming the next James Bond, Mara Wilson was just the most adorable little child star, and Mrs. Doubtfire was the #1 movie in America.
Are we close? Any closer, and you'd be Mom.
In the weeks to come, this hit comedy secured its place as the second biggest film of the year, right behind Jurassic Park. Its success would extend from the box office to the awards scene, where it picked up 2 Golden Globes and an Oscar for makeup effects. Nearly 20 years later, it was announced that a sequel was officially in development, although the project was canceled following Robin Williams' untimely death in 2014.
Daddy?
Yeah, honey. It's me.
23 years ago, Woody meets Buzz Lightyear, November 22nd, 1995. 23 years before Ralph Breaks the Internet came crashing into theaters, the first fully computer-animated film went to infinity and beyond. But judging by the fact that over half of you voted for this story, you probably already knew that. Although Pixar had only dabbled in shorts up to this point, their first animated feature was a runaway success, becoming the highest-grossing film of 1995 and receiving a Special Achievement Oscar.
That wasn't flying, that was falling with style.
In addition to forever-changing animation, characters like Woody and Buzz Lightyear would become childhood staples. Watching the film today, we can't help but experience the same nostalgic sentiment Andy felt in Toy Story 3, which came out a decade and a half later. However, it wouldn't be the franchise's final curtain, as Toy Story 4 is set to come out in 2019. 22 years ago, Tamagotchi distracts children from their schoolwork, November 23rd, 1996. If you think the Nintendo DS is old school, you're probably too young to remember Tamagotchi. With its basic graphics, retro design, and keychain size, this toy must look like a dinosaur egg to the iPad.
Tamagotchi, the original virtual reality pet.
Nevertheless, these digital pets took the world by storm in the late 90s, selling over 80 million units and inspiring competitors like Gigapet and Digimon. If you were growing up at the time, your entire world revolved around taking care of this virtual creature, until you got bored and let it die. They might have ended up buried away in the back of a closet, but we'll always remember a simpler time when Tamagotchis were cooler than cell phones.
Do you have Tamagotchi fever?
14 years ago, Nintendo doubles the fun with the dual-screen DS, November 21st, 2004. Believe it or not, there was a time when we thought the Game Boy Advance was the pinnacle of handheld gaming. So you can imagine how blown away players were when the Nintendo DS hit the market with its multiple screens, stylus pen, and the most impressive graphics we'd yet to see on a portable console. With ports of Super Mario 64 and Diddy Kong Racing, it was like we were playing an N64 game on the go. 14 years after its launch, the DS remains history's second best-selling game system, right after Sony's PlayStation 2. Obviously, the Big N would never be able to top themselves. Now, what's this Nintendo Switch? Oh, wow. 25 years ago, Nirvana records MTV Unplugged in New York, November 18th, 1993. No band defined the Seattle sound like Nirvana, and in many respects, this live album marked the beginning of the end for the grunge era.
Good evening.
Following 2 days of intense rehearsing, Nirvana recorded their performance for MTV Unplugged at New York's Sony Studios, primarily playing their more obscure songs and covers of other artists. At the request of frontman Kurt Cobain, the stage was decorated, quote, like a funeral. Less than 6 months later, Cobain committed suicide at his Seattle, Washington home. When the album was released posthumously in November of 1994, it topped the Billboard 200 and eventually won the Grammy for Best Alternative Music Album, although grunge music would decline in popularity soon after.
Let me
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.